So we'll talk more about this functionality, but I want to ask Tom first. What has really gotten your attention while you're doing the research about the gun industry online? What have you seen in terms of what people do?
Well, what leaps out immediately is that people, when they're looking to buy guns online, there is a massive difference from state to state as far as regulation goes. And that puts customers under all sorts of different obligations because they're in this position where they're ultimately the one responsible for the gun they're going to purchase. So if you're in California, you have to know whether or not you can order ammunition online, whether or not you can have automatic or semi-automatic delivered, and all those different things. As far as the content goes, to answer your question, a lot of it is oriented around different states, helping people find the resource that's for them based on where they're searching, and outlining different things they need to be aware of. Mm-hmm. And in a larger sense, helping an online dealer become a one-stop resource for all of this information, emphasizing the importance of knowing it, mm-hmm. And making that process as streamlined for the customer as possible so that, like Joe said earlier, they don't jump out of the funnel at any point.
Yeah. So it seems like, and again, when we get a prospect or a client here at Optimum 7, we try to consult them as efficiently as possible. When we are dealing with one or two arms dealers as clients, or online gun sellers or online firearm sellers, we would love to just do marketing or functionality and have it be at that, but we had the same issue with the finance sector. We are dealing with compliance, regulation. A
lot of red tape.
Limitations with the way things are,
mm-hmm.
what we are dealing with the ATF database, and the client is basically creating processes where they can now store all this information. I know for a fact that one of our clients needs to store this for 10 years. Every single gun he releases, he needs to store it for 10 years. It's not a digital system. Yeah. It's not a cloud-based system. It's literally you're like making somebody sign. You got to hold on to that paper for 10 years. It's not efficient at all. How do you think this could be more efficient? What's the ideal structure? We've built a lot of functionality, but our stuff is kind of like patching here and there. It works beautifully, but can you think of a centralized system that will address all of that? Or do you think, do you think this has to be a governmental organization? Like, does it have to be ATF that takes care of this and takes the lead on this?
I definitely think the ATF is the one that needs to take a lead on this. I think any other third party trying to come up with a solution is going to run into the same red tape that we face, when it comes to marketing, and now, even when it comes to the e-commerce aspect of it. So I think ATF themselves need to find a more efficient solution that then could be integrated into any of these functionalities that we create to kind of streamline and make, these dealers' lives easier. So I think the issue is that the FFL dealer for the most part, if they're a dealer and they're up and running, they have an FFL. There's no way they can't sell firearms without it. The issue is that the online retailers don't have a way of getting the most up-to-date license that these dealers have. Yeah. And it's not like these dealers are going out of their way to say, hey, here's my most up-to-date, license. Make sure that this is the one that you have on your site so that, consumers can attach it to their order.
Yeah.
That's the problem. There's no communication between the dealers and the online retailers when their license is, updated.
Yep.
So that's kind of where, how can we have an automated system that as soon as a dealer updates their FFL, either the supplier, the retailer gets notified, or it automatically, gets filed into the database that a consumer can find, click, and attach to their order.